morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the MMA Daily Show. I'm your host, Simon Shelby, and today we're going to be speaking to Don Madge, who is a UFC star who made his UFC debut last year and has potential to be a huge name in the UFC and one of the biggest stars to come out of South Africa in the MMA scene. It's a very, very interesting interview. We get into his background and his Muay Thai days, going over to Thailand and fight, and then his EFC days. He's back in South Africa, what it was like to make his UFC debut, and what he's got these plans for the future. So stick around for that. But beforehand, make sure you go in the description down below and check out my merch that I've got launched. It's some very, very good merch. I've been working on designs more and more, and I hope you guys enjoy it. As well as that, I want to tell you about Swagbooks. Swagbooks is an easy way to make money online. All you do is watch videos, do surveys, and you can make a lot of money on there. People have made thousands. People have paid for holidays on there. You just got to put in the work. So if you go down the link down to the description down below, it'll take you straight to the website. Sign up, and you can get it through PayPal, Amazon gift cards, whatever. So sign up to Swagbooks today and put some cash back in your wallet. So without further ado, let's get in right into the interview. So, just to start off with, how you doing? How's life been treating you for the moment?
Very good. Obviously I fought only last year, October, and I've kind of been sitting on ice for a while. But otherwise, it's been very good. I've been training all the way through, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, man. One of the reasons why I contacted you was because I saw I think it was some kind of news channel that did a whole your backstory, and your backstory really intrigued me. You took a very long and hard road to get to the UFC. You fought in South Africa, and then you moved to Thailand and had about, was it something like 70 pro fights, and then you fought in the EFC in South Africa, and then you finally made your debut in October. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you today. So one of my first questions was how important was that journey for your development as a unique fighter and developing your different styles and your overall mentality of approaching life and fighting?
Oh, I think Thailand was definitely a turning moment in my life. I I wasn't exactly one for school, so I had quite a couple issues in school. So I wasn't actually in school, and I had to miss an entire grade, which was not ideal. And
wow.
So the option was let's go to Thailand and do something, and come back and finish school, which is exactly what I did. So I went to Thailand, came back, and I finished my schooling, then went back to Thailand and pursued the career as a Muay Thai fighter. But once you've fought on the biggest stages of Muay Thai, you quickly realize that there's no future in Muay Thai. And when I came back to South Africa, MMA just sort of exploded on the scene. So all my teammates and everyone that I used to train with were all doing MMA now. So I was like, well, I might as well jump on this bandwagon too. and then next thing you know, I'm fine. I didn't have any amateur MMA training. I just kind of stepped in straight from Muay Thai, and just went for it, man. That's pretty much my story.
Yeah, man. It was a really interesting story because you hear a lot of people that they either go straight into mixed martial arts or they don't really travel a lot. They always stay in their home country and then they make it to the UFC. So your story really intrigued me in that you had so many professional fights over in Thailand.
Yeah.
And I remember in the interview you talked about, you really embraced that kind of mentality that the Thais have, sleeping on the floor with was it 6 people in a room and all that kind of stuff. And that's the kind of thing, that's like some stoic kind of mentality that you don't see a lot of people go through nowadays in fighting. A lot of people are comfortable in a gym that they start off in when they're a kid, but you really went through the paces, which is why I suppose that you were such a unique fighter.
Well, that's kind of the story of me. Every step that I've had to go through to get to where I am right now has been difficult. It hasn't been easy. Being a South African and trying to get into the UFC is close to impossible. It's so for me to even be in the UFC, never mind going to Thailand and being like a kid, basically not being able to speak English, sleeping in a room with a bunch of Thai guys, no air conditioning,
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't comfortable. I couldn't speak the language. I had to learn how to speak the language just because, out of necessity. Otherwise, I didn't do anything. For my first 3 fights when I was in Thailand, no one would hold pads for me. Because I was just this foreigner that was just there living with all these Thai people, and they were just like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Yeah.
So I was kind of just like hitting the bag and getting thrown about in the clinch by like these savages, and I kind of just had to like just embrace it, and I've kind of taken that mentality into the rest of my career. I never choose the easy path.
Mm-hmm.
I always take the hardest route, and I feel like that's why I've progressed so quickly in terms of my mixed martial arts career. Like it's been a fairly quick rise, considering I haven't had any amateur training. I didn't have any grappling background. I didn't have anything. So I kind of just threw myself into it. Took the hardest route. I was doing jiu-jitsu 4 times a day, every single day for the first 4 years of my career. That's all I did was train jiu-jitsu, and the guy that I was training jiu-jitsu with was a 3rd-degree black belt, and basically I did privates with him, and we just rolled.
Yeah.
He just smashed me for 4 years.
Wow.
Just smashed me every day. Just crushed me. And it kind of I think that definitely played into my mindset that I take into fights. Nothing's gonna break me in a fight. Nothing, because I've seen it all, I've felt it all, I've been through it all.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's one of the interesting things to hear about how you were rolling for 4 years with a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Because I was looking down your record and I was I knew you were a Thai guy, and I was like, okay, this guy's gonna have so many knockouts. And it was so interesting to see you have certain amount of like submission wins. So I was thinking, damn, this kid, he's such a well-rounded fighter already, and he's got all those prior experiences of going over to Thailand and being in this kind of bottom-up mentality. And I was like, this is going to be the future of the sport, especially in South Africa. So what was it like to finally walk out in that arena under the UFC banner, reaching the top organization in mixed martial arts, after going through everything that you'd been through? Was it a feeling that you'd finally made it, or was it kind of the first step of a 1,000 miles, that kind of mentality?
Honestly, when I walked out of there, it was the best I've ever felt ever in my life. I always tell this to everyone that asked me this question. I felt like I was home. It felt like that's exactly where I should have been right from the start. Under the big lights, all the pressure, all the the whole country behind me. That's what I've been wanting my whole life. And in my Muay Thai career, I had no backing. No one knew what I was doing, where I was. When I came back to South Africa, no one knew like anything about me. Even though I'd gone for like years and just like gone through the worst, like I really put myself in a position, and for me to walk out to the UFC, I was like, all that shit that I had to go through, all that shit that like I went through in this hard road, like this is what I wanted it for, and it was like one of the best moments of my life.
That's great to hear, man. And if anyone out there who's listening doesn't know, you put on an absolute clinic in your first fight, and you even picked up a performance of the night bonus. You picked up $50,000 on that day against Tay Edwards. How important was that for you to pick up that performance of the night bonus? Was that kind of a proving stamp on your career that yes, I am a serious contender and in the UFC, and I'm here to stay? And how much did that help you as well, getting that $50,000?
Well, obviously, of course, the money was amazing. If anyone knows, South Africa, it's 15-1 to the dollar. So when I came back here, it was a really good exchange.
Oh, nice.
So it was a really good exchange. So it changed my life completely, which is, it's unreal. It's the first time in my life that I've earned like real money. But what's even more important than that was, I'd been telling people for years and years and years. I've been telling people, I was like, I only fight to finish guys. I don't fight to put on boring fights. I don't fight to come there and just get a win. I come there to like smash a dude. He must leave there being like he never wants to fight me again. And that's exactly what I told the UFC before they signed me. I was like, guys, you trust me. I'm not gonna there's never gonna be a boring fight with Don Madge in it. I'll tell you that right now. So and I went out there and I proved that. And if you look back at my career, out of my 8 wins that I have, I've got 7 bonuses. So even when I was in the UFC, I got a bonus pretty much every single fight because I went out there and I laid it all on the line.
Yeah, man, that's fucking awesome to hear, because one of the biggest complaints that people get is, this guy's a boring fighter. Except not to you, but whenever they're critiquing fighters and whenever that I can't get behind. But your style and how well rounded you are, because I remember watching that fight back, and you were close to finishing him earlier in the fight, weren't you? Was it you had him an arm bar or something, and he managed and he managed to get out. So, and I was thinking, damn, this guy's a Thai fighter, and he's going for a submission. I was thinking, what the fuck? So that was awesome to see. So you fought at the end of 2018, am I right? And are you looking to get back in the cage anytime soon? Because you did say you do want to get back in there early 2019.
100%. I was actually planning on fighting in April, but there was a miscommunication with my management that I had at the time and the UFC, and things just got crossed. And also the time difference, being able to only reply at certain times, and then it's like a bit of broken telephone. So I've kind of been put on ice now because there was a bit of miscommunication. But now I've signed with Paradigm Sports, which is the leading sports management company in the world. And so now we're looking at 1st September in Abu Dhabi. So hopefully I can get on that. The main event's Khabib versus Dustin Poirier. I think that's like a great card to get me on.
Yeah, man. I mean, that'll get you a lot of eyes, especially on the international stage again. You've also got Curtis Blades on that card, so that's going to be a huge card with a lot of eyes. So that'll be great to see you on that. And just lastly for me, you've got into the UFC, you got your foot in the door, you got your first win under your belt. What's like a rough 5-year plan for you now? What are you looking to do in the next 2 to 5 years of your UFC career, and where do you see yourself going?
Honestly, man, within the next 2 years, I want to be in the top 10. I want to be looked at as a contender for the title. However many fights that has to take, within the next 2 years, that's exactly where I want to be. And 5 years from now, I'm looking to be the lightweight champion of the world. I'm not. There's no other goal. There's nothing else that interests me except for that.
Yeah. That's completely understandable, man. And I tell you how well-rounded your skill set is, and how much of a draw you're going to be, especially being one of the biggest South African exports in MMA and being on the UFC. I can see that happening, and all the best to you, man. I won't take up too much more of your time. So, if you got anything to plug, you're more than welcome to do that now.
No, there's nothing to plug at all, man. But thank you very much for having me on the call, man. I really appreciate the reach out and being able to get my message across. Get my message across to a few more people.
No worries, man. I mean, like, one of my biggest philosophies in terms of approaching interviewing and mixed martial arts and all that is that the guys at the top of the card are just important as the guys as the undercard. Every fighter's got a story. Every fighter's got a background. And it's interesting to see where the guys go, because in 2 years, 3 years time, I could look back at this interview and say, I interviewed the fucking lightweight champ of the world, or I interviewed this guy and he went on to this, that, and the other. And it'd be really interesting to look back on
when that does happen, because that is going to happen, we'll have to get on another call and we'll have to play this one back.
Most definitely, man. And anytime, I'd look forward to that, man. So anyone who's out there watching, look up this guy, look at what he's done, and make sure to watch his next fight, because I tell you what, it's going to be an entertaining one. So thanks very much for jumping on, and enjoy the birthday party.
Oh yeah, thank you, my brother.
No worries, man. Look after yourself. See you soon.
Cheers, you too.
All right, bye-bye. Bye.